Smith, would you like to follow that?
I want to set the record straight, Steve.
Good. Please do.
Wishful thinking on your part, I guess. I was worried there. It's not buzzing anymore. I guess Robin Voss quit bugging the room. I think that's what was happening here. So you didn't invite him, did you?
No.
Oh, okay. All right. And it is great work you guys did, but you forgot someone. You forgot a whole group of people, Jake, to thank, and that's the Republican Party. The comeback is thanks to the Republican Party. The crazy is in place in the Republican Party, but it's scary. It's scary enough to bring people around. It's scary enough to get people to show up and vote because they see the future is in jeopardy. Democracy is in jeopardy. And it's even worse if we don't show up. Even worse if we don't show up. Now, I know Brad back there. Hey, Brad, you made it. All right, that's great. All right. Brad can tell you, I've made it my mission to warn the Republicans of what's coming whenever we're on a floor session. By the way, we're really busy these days. A lot of committee hearings, a lot going on. We just don't do much. But when we do get a chance to be on the floor, I like to be the one to comfort them, to let them know that it's okay, losing is okay. I lost a seat in the Assembly in 2010. I'm still standing. I'm still here. It'll be okay. Because the actions that, whatever day that may be, the actions that they might have taken to cut child care, to cut our schools, to take away rights, don't worry about it. Because when you're not here next year, we're not going to miss you. Because there's a whole lot of people coming for you. I told them in one speech, I said, I am so looking forward to you having to explain to your voters what you did today that I'm going to bring the marshmallows. Because there's going to be a big bonfire, and there's going to be pitchforks, and they're going to need marshmallows on those pitchforks, and I want to listen to hear what you're going to tell them why you did the things you did today. Now, there is reasons to be concerned. Okay, I'm the fun guy. I get it. I want to be the fun guy, but there are times I got to be pretty serious, and it is pretty serious times. Things to pay attention to. I know there's a lot of headlines out there about impeachment, particularly about where's the Supreme Court going and the shenanigans by the Republicans. But one thing you don't realize is that, and Brad knows this too, is that we've been seeing a number of resolutions introduced in the legislature for our Constitution. They are in a place where they are now seeing the end is near, and their best strategy now to embed the bad policies that are destroying our state, they want to embed them in the Constitution. They are introducing constitutional amendments to embed their things like voter ID and other things that they have done over the past 14 years. We have opportunity, and it's important more than ever next year to show up so that they don't get that second round of chances to put it into the Constitution, get it on the ballot. We can't let that happen. This is under the radar. I know, so you're seeing all this stuff about impeachment and okay, this bad stuff, crazy stuff. And I hate to be this guy, I know, and sometimes I just have to hide it, but it makes me smile. Because the desperation that forces them to come to this place. Robin Voss, twice now I've used his name here. Jeez, I can't believe it. But you know, on a Tuesday afternoon, we suddenly get this notice. They're breaking from a session day. They're all in the session day out on the floor, and he puts out an announcement. I've got a big announcement to make. We're going to have a press conference up on the 4th floor. So I rush up there like everybody else thinking, wow, this is exciting. Wonder what it's going to be. Well, he told us he had an amazing weekend. He had this epiphany that we should have fair maps. Oh, my goodness, an epiphany. He never heard of this before, apparently. He never heard of this before. Of course he couldn't have, because he's never given us a public hearing. So, you know, he never heard of this before. So suddenly he decided we had to have fair maps. And it's pretty fun. It's pretty interesting. I really give anybody credit that he had an epiphany. I don't know if Moses came down from the mountain or what happened, but it happened. But you need to know some of the facts about this. The version that they've introduced, and by the way, I'm the author and have been the lead on this since even before I was in the legislature. I was an organizer for the Fair Maps Commission, or for Fair Maps Coalition. So yesterday, as a matter of fact, a Republican assembly person in a forum we were in for the Chamber of Commerce, it was me and 4 Republicans. It's that way all the time, which I really enjoy. So she's telling this, oh, I'm so excited about fair maps. I love fair maps. I think it's important. I always believe in fairness. And you know, we don't understand why that was that session day on Thursday, which, by the way, remember that. He introduced this on a press conference on a Tuesday afternoon. And on Thursday, they were on the floor with it. Amazing. That epiphany must have just taken over his life. All of a sudden, all this stuff that we can't have public hearings for and don't see any action on, he made it happen in 36 hours. It's just a new world. It's a new world. So she's telling us, wow, it was so exciting. I was so thrilled to be able to vote for this. We only had 1 Democrat that voted for it, she said, though, but I wanted to give her a standing ovation. You know, and I don't understand, because I know that they told us they had met with the authors and asked them, what do you want? We'll do anything you want. Fortunately, I was the next one to speak, which is a good thing. Again, I'm the only Democrat there, so they always say, well, we're going to have a Democrat respond to what you just said. So I said, oh, you need to know the truth. I'm the author. They did not ask me at all. No Republican has ever approached me about this. I'm the author. And I know the assembly author did walk into the room that night that they were meeting behind the scenes, behind the curtain, and they turned to her and said, we're not talking to you. That's a quote. We're not talking to you. But they want the press, and they want the public, and they want their own members, because I'm not saying she, was lying. They told her this, that they worked with us. They want them to believe, all those Democrats, they're all full of hot air. They never wanted this, and they don't want to compromise. They never talked to us. And they've got the bill from 2013, which we have gone way beyond by this time, because we've had different versions, because we've learned not to trust. Isn't that sad? We've learned not to trust that guy that calls himself the Speaker of the Assembly. So when we don't have trust, we've changed our versions so that this legislature would have our version would be the legislature would have no access or ability to draw their own map. But they've gone backwards to a version that even Iowa does not actually use, even though they keep wanting to call it the Iowa model. Iowa does not even use because it doesn't have those safeguards in it. If they were to adopt this, which they did in the assembly side, they would, the legislature, they would get this map version from the Legislative Reference Bureau, and they could vote it down. Then they'd get a second one. They could vote it down. Then after that, they draw their own map. Pretty tricky, isn't it? Pretty tricky. Well, I'm sorry to be like this, but all this stuff just makes me smile. Because you would have to be pretty darn desperate to try to impeach, as was mentioned earlier, a state Supreme Court justice who won by 11%, unheard of in the state of Wisconsin, double digits, before she even heard a case. The threat is out there. Then they want to impeach our Elections Commission administrator, which I'm on Elections Committee, and it was just another fun day in the Capitol when we had that hearing, and all the conspiracy theorists you've ever seen or heard of showed up in one spot. Thank God for them there wasn't a bomb scare. But it was quite amazing. You know, once in a while you run into, and I do this stop and talk out on the road, and I get one at a time. This is all at once. I couldn't have asked for a better time to have to listen to every one of them one at a time. Every one you ever heard of. So they keep feeding into this conspiracy theories. How much time do I have, Steve? I just remembered. I'm sorry. But this is it's just such a great time, grand time, because you're not afraid of winning, are you?
No.
I know it's been a while, but we're winning. And we're going to win. And we're going to win some majorities back. And not because we're cheating. Not because we cheat, but because we believe our values and our policies stand on their own. That's the desperation you're seeing in the Republican Party on every scale, nationally and locally and in the state, because their values and their policies can't stand on their own, and they know it, and they are scared. So I want you to know, when you see them, pat them on the back and say, it'll be okay. Jeff Smith has gone through that. He knows what it's like. He survived. You'll survive. Just go away. It's always great to be here. I am so thrilled to always be welcome here, even though they gerrymandered Black River Falls out of my district. It may not last long. Thank you.